Welcome to the PI Podcast, your destination for everything NFL, discussing the latest news and providing in-depth analysis of every NFL game. And now, here are your hosts, Ian and Tesh.
What's up, guys? We are back for week 4. Week 4 is live. And we're recapping week 4 of the NFL. As always, just ask any questions you guys like to be answered. As always, as I've been doing the last few weeks, I will be going over week 4. AJ, how's it going, dude? How's it going, AJ? Hey, dude. Let me get to... I always have to go to NFL Pro. NFL Pro has been really useful stats-wise. I'm sorry about your Niners loss, AJ. I was rooting for them. Kinda. Jaguars are my second team, so I was happy either way, but it wasn't the worst loss in the world either. You guys did almost come back. So I don't think I'm not too worried about the Niners just because Purdy just came back from injury, so I really don't think that's a concerning loss right now at this point in the season. And the fact that you almost came back and won the game, I mean, you guys had plenty of chances, so that was good. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know, of course. We're gonna be going over every single game from week 4. Let me grab something real quick though, before I get started. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna put a stand. Big Money, how's it going, dude? Appreciate you for hopping by the live stream. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, dude, AJ, the 49ers, like, you guys really need to get healthy. I mean, it's insane that you guys have that many injuries year in and year out, and I just don't understand it. It's just really bad luck, and I hope that luck doesn't stay the same because you guys really need to get healthy. If you guys can get healthy, that team is really good, as we know. They went to multiple NFC championships in the last 5 years. They a playoff team almost every year up until last year. So yeah, you guys just need to get healthy. You can be guys really good. Bananas need Balco. What? Oh, Balco. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, big money. Jeez. They need everything, honestly. 49ers need their training staff to like get them every player healthy and like have aluminum bones because all their hamstring and stuff needs to be aluminum or something. I don't know what's going on. Kittle seems to get injured every year, and then Christian McCaffrey again was out all of last year basically. Oh, I got you, Joe. Joe, I got you. That makes sense. Yeah, they need that. They need a lot of that. God, dang. Oh my god, that's funny. Big Joe, what's your favorite team? I don't think I know your favorite team yet. What's your favorite team? Yeah, let me go over the London game first, of course, and then we'll work our way down. Ending in our first ever tie of the season, which was actually it was very disappointing, honestly, that game ended a tie. But on my regular picks, actually, this week, I only lost by 2 picks. Literally, I had a parlay on FanDuel for the game winners and on CBS, and I was off by 2. I was off by the Jags game, and I was off on the Giants game. So, I mean, the Giants game was reasonable, but I had a feeling the Jaguars were going to win, but I still took Niners. I don't know. But it could have gone either way there. Conte was doing or used to team. Oh, dang. That's cool. That's cool, big money. Dang. That's crazy. What is it? Oh, you're a 49ers fan too? Okay. So we got 49ers fans in here. Yeah, I got you. They're a good team. They're a good team. The whole franchise is. So, not a bad team to have. Of course, my team is the Falcons, so have our ups and downs, but a lot of downs, of course. And I'll get into that in a second. But the Vikings Steelers London game, um, second game starting for Carson Wentz, and he was able to pass the ball. The turnovers just kind of killed them, honestly. Turnovers killed them, but also the Pitt Steelers played good defense again for the second straight week. Justin Jefferson did get going. Both receivers did. DK Metcalf got going, and Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison got going. So he had some deep throws on Sunday morning. Oh, you posted vids from the games. Oh, okay. Yeah, I bet I saw that too on the Discord before. Then that was from you. I probably didn't look at the name, of course. Aaron Rodgers had actually a really good game. He was accurate with the football. That line's got to be a little better. I think if that line's a little better, they can score a lot more points. To be honest, Jordan Mason had himself a decent game. Kenneth Gainwell went off. Like the way Kenneth Gainwell was running, he was running really good, especially with Jalen Warren being out at the last second. They actually gave Caleb Johnson some reps too, which is because they had to since Jalen Warren was out. But Caleb Johnson is a rookie. It's going to take time for him to get going. But Kenneth Gainwell with 2 touchdowns and 99 yards rushing, that is actually really good. And then DK Metcalf, that long touchdown pass to him, that touchdown pass was that long touchdown was awesome. DK Metcalf needed that. He had like 20 yards and a touchdown last week. He definitely needed a game like this to get him going. And if anyone thought Jordan Addison was not going to do so good this week, well, he did really good. He had 4 receptions for 114 yards this week. Both receivers for the Vikings are so good they can average 100 yards a week. And it's crazy to me that their quarterback is Carson Wentz right now, unfortunately. But also, I don't know if JJ would have done any better than Carson Wentz, to be honest. I feel like JJ needs a lot more of development time, and I don't think he does. He doesn't keep it close like Carson Wentz did in this game. Carson Wentz, yeah, he did throw 2 turnovers, but I don't know if JJ gets the ball to Jefferson and Addison that easily. So we'll see if JJ McCarthy comes back, but Carson Wentz, I figure, has to be the starter again this week. It was a close game. Steelers, as I was watching it, it was an early morning game too, 9:30 a.m. I dropped Golden. So loaded at wide receiver just so I can keep Steelers defense against Cleveland and Cincy. Ooh, that isn't. Yeah, that'd be a good move. Big money. That might be a good move to do that. Kalima's offense is non-existent. Maybe Dylan Gabriel could probably have a spark. We'll see. But also Cincy's offense, God, after being the Jaguars, they did not look like that Cincinnati offense at all. So, and they looked really bad last night. Uh, so I don't know. They gotta figure something out. They gotta. I know their line's really bad, but at the same time, Jake Browning is a backup quarterback. They need to go. They need to try something else. I mean, you can't lose all the way till Joe Burrow comes back. Otherwise, that team's gonna be in shambles, and there's no chance the Bengals would make the playoffs if they keep losing at this rate. But they do have some winnable games coming up throughout the season before Joe Burrow's back, so I expect them to win a few more games. But the way they're looking right now, I don't like. It's looking at schedule. Like, yeah, they can win some, but only if they don't look like the last 2 weeks. Getting blown out 2 weeks in a row, and this, especially last night, not being able to score a touchdown with the weapons you have, that's unacceptable. Um, but yeah, Carson Wentz threw for 350 yards. They were down late, and then they had to throw it, of course. But ultimately, they lost to Aaron Rodgers, who played a really good game to the Steelers. Steelers defensively, they're showing up now. So that team is a top AFC world now with Lamar going out. So I expect them to win a lot more. It might be the look. It's gonna be hard for the Ravens if they lose next week. To keep up with the Steelers, honestly. So it's gonna be something interesting in that division. Next up, we got Commanders and Falcons. I don't know what you could say. Penix had a bounce back game from last week. He threw it to everybody. Bijan had 75 rushing yards, but also had 106 yards receiving. He was our second leading receiver by 4 yards behind Drake London, who had 8 receptions for 110 yards and a touchdown. Kyle Pitts had 70 yards and a touchdown as well. So Drake London, Bijan, Pitts, and Algier all had a touchdown. So all the guys are drafted, which was awesome to see. And Penix grew for 313 yards. And our defense has been really good. I just wish our special teams actually could get it together. Ravens not going. It's not looking good right now. If Lamar's out as 2 or 3 weeks, which is looking like he's going to be out a few weeks, it's not good for that team sitting at 1-3. Could be 1-5 by the time Lamar gets back. That's never a good sign. But our defense played good against the Commanders. Our special teams has got to be better this week or after the bye against the Bills, because that's going to be a tough game for us. Marcus Mariota threw for 156 yards. The Falcons have the best top 2 pass defense in the NFL. They have a top 2 total yardage defense overall in the NFL. So we hold quarterbacks passing yards wise, so that's really good. That's something I've never seen in the Falcons defense. We always let like 300 yards to the randomest guy, and I'm just surprised that this season we haven't been allowing those yards. Because last year when we played the Vikings, we let Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson both get like 150 yards and 2 touchdowns each. So I'm just happy to see our defense going good. We're getting the sacks. We're playing good pass wise. We're a little not as good in the run game this year, which I think we can shore up and fix. We do really need a D tackle as well, a backup one at least to get that short up. But our special teams was really bad this week, which is why the Commanders had 27 points. It's because the special teams kept allowing the Commanders to get past the 50-yard line on special teams, or at least close to it, which is never a good sign at all. But it was a fun game. Michael Penix went off. Drake London's an absolute beast. Our offensive line is really, really good, and we were able to shut down their passing game for the most part. And that's why it's a big reason why we won. So I'm excited. Next week we have a bye, and then after the bye we play the Bills and the Niners. So it's gonna be a tough 2 weeks after the bye. But I think we can win one of those 2 games. It would be a reach to say we win both of them, but I'm not gonna say that. But our defense is playing really good. If they keep playing like they are against those 2 teams, then I think we have a good chance of winning both. but that's all I'm gonna say. I'll talk about it more next week after the bye. But yeah, Bills and Saints. Bills. Bills obviously 4-0 now. Their schedule. A lot of people are saying their schedule because their schedule was isn't great. Right at the start of the season, they haven't really played anybody. But I think the only team they've really, I mean, you could say the Ravens are the only team they played good against. Um, that actually is a team that's has a winning record. And then they played the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Saints. So they've had a pretty easy schedule so far. And then they play the Patriots on Sunday night next week. And then they play the Falcons, the Panthers, the Chiefs, the Dolphins, the Buccaneers, the Texans, the Steelers, Bengals, Patriots, Browns, Eagles. Damn. I'd say right now 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe four games that they might have a tough time, like a closer game, just because I'm gonna say Falcon game 2 so 5. They got a really good schedule this year. The Bills do, which they might actually win like 14 games this year. That'd be crazy. But they are number one in the AFC East. The Saints stayed in this game. Spencer Rattler, he's always finding ways to stay in this game. He's might not be the greatest quarterback in the world, but he's developing a little bit, and he's keeping the Saints in these games. Had a huge touchdown pass to Chris Olave, even though Chris Olave has been not used at all this year. He's not been very good in general. He only had 20 yards this week. His leading receiver was Rashid Shaheed, with 4 receptions for 47. Uh, Josh on that defense, they're playing good. I don't know what to tell you. That team's awesome. This is my pick for the Super Bowl, but the Bills, and like I want to see them play. I'm ready for that Bills Chiefs game. Like that's gonna be a real test for them to see how good they really are this year. Tim, how's it going, dude? How you doing tonight, Tim? But yeah, Spencer Rattler's keeping these Saints teams in games. I wouldn't be surprised if they upset one of these teams eventually. They are 0-4, but they aren't a very good team, but they do their best at trying. And then we got the Lions and the Browns. I wasn't so we know the Browns defense is one of the best in the NFL, of course. But the problem is their offense, and because old man Joe's up there. Yeah, so old man Joe, check down Joe, I call him. I've been calling him this year, because every game I've seen him, he's been checking it down like 20 times a game. And this week, he kind of threw down the field a little bit, but it didn't really help because he barely did that. And when he did, he threw an interception. So, check down Joe is now not the starter anymore, and Dylan Gabriel's coming in. So that might provide a little spark to their offense, which should help them. But especially with that defense, if that offense can get going, if Dylan Gabriel can make the right reads, just play good football, they can win some games. Bills, Eagles, and Bulls. Ooh, that might be it. I'm just worried about the Eagles' offense. Honestly, big money. Their offense, if they can't pass the ball, I don't think they're gonna get far in the playoffs. Honestly, they might get away with it in the regular season, especially if their run game is really good. But I don't know if they can make it past the playoffs with no passing game. And you got to get AJ Brown back involved. That's yeah. Have 0 passing yards in the second half. It's absolutely crazy, and how they still won, I don't know. I just don't understand. I don't know how they won with 0 passing yards in that half. It's absolutely crazy to do that. I'd say right now it could potentially be the Rams though. The Rams are looking really, really good in the NFC side of things. Rams, Cardinals. Why am I forgetting? Rams, Cardinals, NFC West. Rams, Cardinals, Niners. Why am I forgetting the last team there? Rams, Cardinals, Niners. I was blanking out NFC East ways. I know the team. Uh, NFC. Okay, I said NFC. NFC West, yeah. Seahawks, yeah. Seahawks defensively, they're looking good. They don't need to pass. Yeah, well, I mean, they they don't, but there's gonna be a time in the playoffs where they need to, and if that passing offense can't get going, they're gonna lose that game. I just have a feeling right now, especially if that keeps going on, carrying on throughout the season. If people shut down their run game, I mean, and they can't pass, it's gonna be hard for them to win. Um, but anyways, uh, Jared Goff and the Lions, they played good against this tough Cleveland Browns defense. Jameer Gibbs had 91 yards and a touchdown. Amon-Ra had 2 touchdowns. Jared Goff um, got it going a little bit against this really good defense. And the bright spot for the Browns as well is Quinshon Judkins. Quinshon Judkins has been playing pretty well, really well for the Browns. He's had some pretty good games, and that's my point when starting Dylan Gabriel. If he can do the right things, they got a running game that can work well, especially if Dylan Gabriel can get it going in the passing game. Because they do got receivers. They got Jerry Jeudy, who's good. He showed that last year. Isaiah Bonds, a rookie. We'll see how he goes, but he was the leading receiver last week. Um, David Njoku's still there. Don't know how you don't get him going, because he's a really good tight end. And then I do like Cedric Tillman. But this Detroit team, I mean, we saw it coming. Detroit's just a better team, and their offense can get going against anybody. Next up, we have the Texans and Titans. Cam Ward and on offense, as he said, they looked really bad. He was 10 of 26 for 108 yards. Like, they're going to get anything going on offense. The Titans couldn't. And for their leading receiver to be their rookie, Iomanner, that's actually insane because, like Calvin Ridley himself said, he's supposed to be the best receiver on that team, and he's not. I don't know what's wrong with Calvin Ridley, but he's supposed to be the leading receiver on that team, and he can't get open, and Cam Ward can't find him. So, Calvin Ridley, you got some work to do. You can't be mocking people when you can't even get open. Cam is in strike. Oh my god. Dude, he laid it out. He laid it out for the team. He literally said they were so bad. He called them out. And the weird thing is, this was a defensive game most of the game until Cam Ward that offense still couldn't get going by the end of it, and then C.J. Stroud just kept going, and then had himself an actually a really good game. 22 of 28, 233, and 2 touchdowns. Woody Marks is a fun guy to watch. I mean, he was running hard. Nico Collins is a dog. That offense can't get going. It was just going to be the pass rush and the offensive line if they can hold up. I mean, because I still think that's the problem for the Texans. But hopefully this helps them keep going on offense. I mean, it is the Titans, so you can't really say anything about them. But they shut them out. Titans aren't a good football team, so we'll see how the Texans play next week. Yeah, exactly, Begwini. He hasn't done anything since being reinstated. And the funny thing is, at the beginning in training camp or in preseason, when we had our joint practices with the Falcons, he got one big catch and was like, "Oh, I am so good. We're gonna own the Falcons." And then we owned that training camp. We may have lost the preseason game, but Cal really barely even played. So for him to say that, and now he's getting nothing receiving wise. Oh dang, that's nice. That's a good pickup, big money. Good on you. That's a good pickup. I need well, I'm 0-4 now in the fantasy in the gold league, so that's not good for me at all. You know, another point I want to add after when this next game, because the game we're going to is Patriots Panthers. After the Falcons lost to Panthers last week, Panthers fans, they were the most toxic people ever. They were acting like they won 5 Super Bowls when they beat the Falcons. They were like, "Oh, what y'all gonna do? You guys suck. We're gonna own new owners of the NFC South." They acted like they owned the division. They owned the Falcons. They owned the Super Bowl. They won a Super Bowl. And look what happens this week. They're the same trash team they were the whole season. They just got a lucky one. They didn't even beat us last week. The Falcons beat us. Sorry, Tim. I just, dude, you know how much, not you, you're a good Panthers fan. The other people, though, They were clowning us so hard, dude. All your fellow Panthers fans on Twitter, Tim, they were praising the Panthers like they won the Super Bowl or something. It's absolutely insane. And then they come out and drop one to the Patriots, 42-13, get blown out again. I think every game they played been a blowout except last week. Every team they played has been a blowout, and I think they're a really bad team. And they are, as you can see on. You know what? Drake Mays haven't. Not gonna talk about Panthers, but they're really bad. The Panthers are a bad team. They've got to be the worst team in the NFL other than the Saints, and they're both in our division. So I couldn't be happier, especially with all that talk the Panthers fans were saying last week. Oh man, sorry Tim. I'm not happy for you. I'm happy because the other fans of your team, for some reason, try to become the Eagles' toxic fan base. But Drake May is looking really good to see here. I'm not gonna lie, he's clicking on offense, and he has the weapons to do it. He's got Hunter Henry, got Austin Hooper on that offense. If they can get Trevion Henderson going again, that'd be really nice. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, you can probably easily tell, Big Money. You probably easily tell. Yeah, I am. Oh, gotta get that out of the way. But the thing that confused me, Trevion Henderson got a touchdown, right? And then they were at the 2 yard line and let Antonio Gibson go for another touchdown. I'm like, well, why aren't you giving it to Travion there? That doesn't make any sense. I know you want to do a running back committee thing, but you give it to Travion there. And I don't know. And then the upset of the week. Oh man, the Giants beat the Chargers 21-18. Justin Herbert drew 2 stupid interceptions, which I'm I'm shocked that he even threw those interceptions, especially the one right to the guy's face, like the Giants defender's face. I mean, come on, Justin Herbert. That team could not get going offensively. That Giants defensive line caused issues for Justin Herbert, especially when Joe Alt came out. And Joe Alt's out for a few weeks now, for multiple weeks now with a high ankle sprain, so they're not gonna have Joe Alt for a while, which is not good. That the pressure from the Giants, which we know is a really good defensive line, they they tortured Justin Herbert as the most I could put it. They tortured him. The only thing positive for the Chargers was they were stayed in this game because of Amari Hampton with 128 yards and a touchdown. Amari Hampton, I'm so glad I got him on Dynasty. I wish I got him in the Gold League, but I didn't get a chance. I think I had a chance actually. I just didn't get to get him. I don't know. But I think I drafted Drake London first and then Josh Jacobs. No, I drafted Josh. I don't know which one. Whatever. Amari Hampton's been really good. I'm glad I have Amari Hampton in Dynasty though. He's a really good running back. And obviously, since Najee got hurt, he's gonna get most of the bulk of the carries. I'm still appalled that the Chargers offense could not do anything against this Giants defense, and like this is how the Chargers Giants get their win. Jackson Dart, he did what he had to do. He did his job, and that's the same thing Dylan Gabriel has to do because that defense for the Browns, they can keep you in games, and as long as Dylan Gabriel did what Jackson Dart did and played complementary football, you can win games against some good teams. So shout out to Jackson Dart. He had the first rushing touchdown of his career on the first drive and everything. Dropping May for Woody, I believe, in Gold League. I wish I dropped Purdy. Oh, dang. Yeah. Oh, my God. Look, I almost won last night, but I wish I did. I would have liked to be 1-3 more than 0-4. But I have a feeling if my players start playing like they're supposed to, I can come back. But it's 0-4. I'm in the Gold League for fun, so I really ain't too worried about it because of my big dynasty, my dynasty league I won, the free league I'm 3-1, the big $50 league I'm in I'm 2-2, and there's only one team that's undefeated, so I'm right in the mix there. So I'm okay. I think I'll be okay. Um, Next up we got the Eagles and Bucks. Eagles dominated this game for the most part of the game, and then, as I told you earlier, 0 passing yards in the second half, and which is why the Buccaneers came storming back, and Baker Mayfield started to look like Baker Mayfield, and he went off with big long touchdowns to Buka. which is actually insane. And then I've seen, geez, Tim, dang, yeah, don't worry, I'm 0-4 in my one of my paid leagues, and then I'm 3-1 in the free league. So work league 4-0 is nice though. You can start bragging a little bit right now, dude. That Malik Neighbors injury was. I hate that. Malik Neighbors is playing so good. Jackson Dart was name about football. Yeah, he was. He really was. I mean, that's such a kind of perfect name to have for a quarterback. Jackson Dart. He's throwing darts all over the field. Like, I mean, it's so easy to say good things about Jackson Dart, especially when he played good football Sunday. He did his job. I don't think there's more to say on that. He did his job in the running game as well. When he needed to run, he ran. Um, Baker Mayfield came storming back against the Eagles just because the Eagles couldn't get a single passing yard second half, which allowed Tampa Bay to get back in this game. And somehow the Eagles squeaked this one out when it looked like Tampa Bay was gonna go win this game in the second half. Ugh. Bucky Irvin had 100 receiving yards too, which is actually insane. Um, but yeah, you got to get your pass catchers involved. I don't care. I, that offense, I just need to see something. Yeah, I could have been 1-3 too. I wish I was. 4 points, all I needed, and Justin Herbert at 15. If he had a passing touchdown at least, like that would have been nice. Or if Krayon Henderson actually got the ball when Antonio Gibson scored a touchdown at the 2 yard line, that pissed me off. How do you not get Krayon Henderson the ball again? And also, Josh Jacobs not getting a single touch in overtime. Like, what are we doing, Packers? Like, they fumbled winning that game, and they fumbled Josh Jacobs. So, I don't know. So many stupid things happen to my team. So, I gotta hope I can win this week. Otherwise, my season's over. I think I'm in that mode. If I go 0-5, the season's over for me. So I hope my players play. Next up, we got one of the big games of the week and one of the funnest games of the week. The Rams and the Colts, which was a really good game. Daniel Jones and Matthew Stafford had a game, especially Matthew Stafford, 375 yards and 3 touchdowns. And then Daniel Jones threw for 262 and a touchdown. He threw 2 interceptions, but at the end of the day, that really didn't cost him as much as you'd think they thought it would. John Taylor got 76 yards rushing. Donnie Mitchell was the leading receiver, but also had one of the biggest blunders of the week because he decided to switch hands and showboat a little bit with the touchdown before he got into the end zone. So come on, Donnie Mitchell. I mean, just scored a touchdown. I mean, your coaches probably tell you all the time, just scored a touchdown and go. They probably tell him that. And he decided to switch hands and drop the ball at the 1 yard line right before he was in the end zone. The craziest thing is how that happens right near the pylon. Like every time we see them a player fumble the ball in the end zone, it's at the 1 yard line or right near the pylon, which is absolutely insane. Like just scored a field goal, scored a touchdown. That's it. Like crazy. Second to last place, but have scored to force more points. Yeah, if you can score a lot of points, you can start winning against these other teams. Yeah, and that penalty was huge too. I mean, he had blunders yesterday. I don't know why. Like, I still don't understand why he didn't. He had the ball secure in his left hand, and for no reason, at the 1 yard line, decided to switch it last minute. He was running literally into the end zone. I actually don't know why he did that. But the Colts defense played well against the Rams for the most part, and up until that last drive. Like, I don't understand. Yeah, he did it twice. Then basically, um, I don't understand how on that last drive when he scored that touchdown to Tutu Atwell, how they left him so wide open. Like they just left him open for like an 85-yard touchdown. Like I don't understand. Like how can you have a blunder error in that big of a moment? Like that touchdown cost them the game because they couldn't get going on drive at the end of the game. But dang, this Colts team is for real. I'm just gonna say that now. That Colts offense is playing. They're gonna be a good team this year, and AFC South better watch out. Yeah, literally big money. They should have won this game, and yet they fumbled it. 2-2 goes under the red. Yeah, I don't know how you leave him that wide open on the last drive of the game, especially when you know they need they want a touchdown. Uh, I don't get it. It didn't make any sense. I don't know how he's that wide open. But the Rams are a really good team. Florida's got a tough matchup this week on Thursday. The Jaguars and Niners. What can I say about this game? It's just ended up being bad turnovers by the Niners. And Jaguars getting more turnovers, which helped their cause as well. Uh, Brock Purdy had 2 horrible interceptions, which I know he knows they're horrible, but yeah, he just didn't have the greatest Brock Purdy game. But I feel like he said he hurt his toe again, so I feel like the Niners should have just waited another week. I know he's ready, but you don't want to rush a player ever because now you're in a situation he might not be ready for a short week on Thursday night. So I feel like they should have waited at least. They should have let Mac Jones play this game because you're 3-0. I mean, even if you drop that game with Mac Jones, you're 3-1. It just you just got to think about the players at that point. Yeah, they do big money. They got 9 turnovers. Um, no, 12 now actually. I think turnovers, NFL turnovers leaders. Okay, there's stat leaders. Let's go to defense. Statistics. There we go. Defense turnovers. Actually, yeah, I know. He should have started. I don't know. Yeah, they have 9 interceptions. They have 13 turnovers in 4 games, which is absolutely insane. Um, 2 of them from this week being from stupid throws from Brock Purdy. But if you look at Jack's schedule, this is the first team they've really played that were really good. Like obviously you're gonna get turnovers against Bryce Young. He's garbage. No offense, Tim. Again, they played the Panthers. They played the Jake Browning led Bengals. Jake Brown's turning the ball over, of course, and they lost that game. And then the turnovers didn't matter in that game because they lost. And then the Texans against C.J. Stroud, which we all know that offense is not very good right now. Up until this week, they finally showed up. But we know the Jaguars, we know the Texans weren't a very good offense. So this was their first game that they played that was actually a good team. So we got to see what the Jaguars can do against the Chiefs and the Seahawks and the Rams. 3 weeks in a row right here, the Jaguars are going to get tested. We'll see if they can win one of those games. It's not looking good because the Chiefs, Seahawks, and Jaguars, their Jaguars are playing at home for all 3 games. So, or well, one in London, but yeah, they're at home technically for all 3. Not taking I hear nothing but truth. I appreciate him. I'm not trying to dog on the Panthers either. I mean, I kind of want Bryce to work out, but he just doesn't look like it. And I'm still appalled that somehow we lost to that team last week. We really shot ourselves in the foot last week. I don't even know how. But yeah, the Jaguars have a tough schedule. Chiefs, Seahawks, Rams. Okay, then they can beat the Raiders and the Texans again. But it's division games are always tough. Then they play the Chargers and the Cardinals, and then they play Titans and Colts. Titans they can win. Jets and Broncos. Jets they can win, and then Colts and Titans again. So Titans 2 times they can sweep the Titans. The Jets they can beat the Colts twice, and the Broncos, and then the Chargers, Cardinals. Man, they got a tough schedule. So we'll see what they can do. It's not looking good, especially schedule wise. But they've been looking good defensively. Uh, Trevor Lawrence is so inconsistent though. That's the only real concern. He played a good game. He played a decent game this week, but also Trevor Lawrence just makes some of the stupidest mistakes ever. Like that interception. Like it's it doesn't make sense to me. And this late in his career, like sixth year now, I think. Fifth or sixth year was 2021. So yeah, fifth year now starting. You can't make those mistakes. I mean, it's okay because you're 3-1, but you gotta be consistent, and that's the thing I'm worried about the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence is not consistent. If he can put together games like he did last week against the Texans, yeah, he's a really good quarterback. But he's starting in the middle of the pack right now. That's the thing that frustrates me because they could be better if Trevor Lawrence was better. Last time Jack started like this, Ramsey was on the team. Yeah, I know, literally. And their defense is playing good football, regardless of who their opponent is. They've been playing good football defensively. Their defensive line is really good. We've known that. Um, my worries on the beginning of the year was secondary, but we haven't really seen their secondary be tested up until this 49ers game. And they handled the job well, but we're now going to see it against the Chiefs. So we'll see on that front. But Jaguars are 3-1, so they're in good spot right now, especially going into this really hard 3-game stretch. Then we got the Ravens and Chiefs. Chiefs won that game, blew the Ravens out. Steve Spagano, I think I've said that right. Spags, that's what people call him. Steve Spagnuolo, my bad. I remember his name, but I'm just blanking out right now. Steve Spagnuolo really confused Lamar Jackson. That Ravens offense could not get anything going. Neither could Derrick Henry again. And it looked like the Chiefs figured Lamar out like crazy, and it just ended up not going good for them, especially since the Chiefs figured out their offense, especially with Xavier Worthy back. Xavier Worthy was putting the Ravens through hell, and with Xavier Worthy now in that offense again, it's opening up a lot of other receivers as well because teams have to worry about Worthy's speed. Then that opens up Travis Kelce even more. That opens up Juju, Marquise Brown. This is exactly the offense the Chiefs expected them to have at the beginning of the year, but then Xavier Worthy got hurt, and we saw that offense not be as good as they were. But Patrick Mahomes looked like Patrick Mahomes, 4 touchdown passes this week. So that offense getting something going, and the Chiefs look like they're gonna be being really good offensively. Um, yeah, Lamar's unfortunately hurt for a few weeks, so we'll see what the record is in a few weeks. But it is not looking good if they drop out games. Not gonna lie. I mean, they need to go 1-1. This while Lamar's out, they need to win one and lose one. No, they can lose one, but they need to win one at least. Then we got a game in Las Vegas, the Raiders and Bears, where Geno Smith, he's turnover prone right now, which is never good. He threw 3 interceptions, only had 117 yards passing. Did not look good at all, and somehow they only lost by a point. Thanks to Gianti, who had his best game of the year of his career in NFL, actually. 138 yards rushing. Geno Smith tried his best to get Brock Bowers the ball, but he just kept throwing turnovers. Like I just haven't seen Geno play this bad since like he started back for the Seattle Seahawks. Like at that time, it's like he hasn't played in a while. He's throwing turnovers, but I haven't seen him turn the ball over this much, like this consistently within weeks back to back. Caleb Williams played a decent game again. Uh, Rome Odunze looks like his main favorite target now, and DJ Moore is kind of not being used as much as we'd like him to. Um, but the Bears defensively, they're playing a little better than what they did against the Lions, so that's always good. That defense has always been on paper a good defense, but they need to show it. They ended up getting the win, big defensive stop against the Raiders before they could get in field goal range. And Gino did not deserve this win if they won that game because he was giving the ball away like crazy. I've talked about I'm not going to talk about Bengals Broncos. We all know Broncos dominated. Bo Nix looked good. He's been looking good the last few weeks. He just sometimes will over anticipate a throw. Like you saw in that deep throw that he missed to Marvin Mims. He ran up in a pocket and threw it, but when he could have just slowly moved up in a pocket and set his feet, he would have got an accurate pass there. But yeah, Packers Cowboys, our first tie of the year. The Cowboys came out firing. Like Dak Prescott and that offense, they came out blow for blow with the Packers, which was awesome to see. And it all sparked up at the end of the second quarter. The big blunder the Packers had. When you're, yeah, literally, Raiders did blow it, and that was his breakout game too. The Packers had this game dominated up. They could have gone in halftime 16-6, and well, let me see. It was 16 to something. It was 16-6. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, let me see what the timing is. Uh, yeah, they're 13-2. Uh, the Packers were winning, and then that 2 point conversion happened, and the block kick happened, and they Cowboys got a spark with that 2 points that they had. Knowing 2 points at that time kind of took the momentum away from the Packers for some reason. And then Dak Prescott ran for a touchdown. And then Jordan Love, for some odd reason, the Packers in general, they decided, hey, we're just going to pass the ball. And if we throw 3 incomplete passes in a row, we're still going to pass it before halftime because even though we don't got no momentum going into halftime, we could still try to get points. Which at that point there were so many incompletions, passing wise. Like you should have just taken it at halftime, and decided to pass it again. And then Jordan Love fumbles, puts Cowboys in good field position, and they score another touchdown and take the lead at halftime. Yeah, they are, Tim. Dak Prescott, that offense is looking good. Even without CD Lamb, didn't have CD Lamb this game. They still scored 40 points. Dak had 319 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jordan Love had 337, 3 touchdowns. Those are a shootout right now. Unfortunate that it ended in a tie, though. George Pickens did go off, though. Like, he looked like a true number one wide receiver there. And then Packers wise, receiving wise, I mean, it's a pick your poison offense. Josh Jacobs had the most yards for that team, which is nice for my fantasy team, but I still lost. But yeah, Dak Prescott. That I knew from the beginning of the season that Dak led offense has always been good. They just need to play complementary football because once they stop being able to push the ball past the 50-yard line, then you get the game like the Bears where they couldn't do anything on offense and they got blown out. But that offense can score points, and it looks like they can score points without CD Lamb, which is huge. Um, so Dak will keep you in the game. I mean, Dak's not a horrible quarterback. Um, obviously, all of us like to clown the cowgirls, regardless. But yeah, and I don't even know what to say about this game. Dolphins Jets. The refs have something out for Jets because they got penalized like 20 times this game. Let's see. I don't know if I have the stats in here, but they'll show me how many penalties they have. But that's so many penalties. That's actually insane. Uh, team stats. I don't know. It won't show me, but they had over like that's so many penalties yesterday. It's absolutely insane. And very early on in the first half, Justin Fields did not look good throwing the football, and then he got through a rhythm and then started throwing the ball really well. That Garrett Wilson touchdown pass, where he was called for PI, should have been a touchdown and no PI because he barely pushed him. Like there was no really effort that he pushed him so hard. That guy was not gonna get there. I, the refs were on one against Jets. I don't know why. Um, yeah, the Jets had so many false starts and everything. It looked horrible. It looked like the Dolphins were gonna blow him out. Um, yeah. So up until the second half, when defense started getting stops, and the offense came alive somehow, some way, but they just kept getting pushed back by their penalties. If they don't have as many penalties as they do, I think they have a chance of winning this game. Justin Fields did get going late though, and ended up 2027, 226 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, he ended up having to pass the ball when they were down to multiple scores, but he got his offense going at the end, which Justin Fields needs to be consistent throwing the ball, and if he can get in a rhythm early, he can throw the ball accurately. I didn't think Justin Fields was going to be throwing the ball accurately, as you saw in the first half, but once he gets in the rhythm, he throws the ball accurately, which he needs to continue. And then two on that offense, they took a huge loss. I don't know if you guys saw the Tyreek Hill injury, but that was bad. His knee bent. Like, oh, it was one of the worst injuries of the year. Probably going to be the worst injury of the year. God. And then he was so happy going. He was like, bye, and smiling. He was like, oh my God. So many memes now. It's like, oh, I want to be off this team so bad. Oh my God. And Tyreek Hill was having a good game, too. He's about to go over 100 yards this game. Unfortunate for Tyreek Hill and this offense. Dolphins sit at 1-3 now. With their season still alive because of this win, which is good for them. But they do play the Panthers next week, so it's possible. Then they play the Chargers and Browns and Falcons, and then they play the Ravens, the Bills, the Commanders. Then they play Saints, Jets, Steelers, Buccaneers, Bengals. Ooh, it's gonna be tough to come back, honestly, from 1-3. Some of that schedule is looking a bit tough. But the 1A chain is getting going, which is nice as well for people who have fantasy. Justin Fields running the ball is amazing as always. Like, I don't know if you can compare him to Lamar because somehow he runs better than Lamar in a sense, I'd say. I mean, somehow he sees a vision that no other runner can see. It's like a pure running back has that vision that he knows what's open. And then Justin Fields looks like that big running back, but he's a quarterback. So, I don't know. Justin Fields just runs the ball amazingly. He had 81 yards rushing and a touchdown. Um, Now, if you guys have any questions about last Sunday, just go ahead and ask. Uh, kind of almost going to Q&A part of this podcast, but last thing I'll do before we get to that is Thursday night football preview. 49ers and Rams, which should be a good game. Don't know if Brock Purdy's going to play. He was out on practice today with a toe injury. Jason, how's it going? Yeah, big money is the GOAT. How's it going, Jason? How you doing? 49ers and the Rams. That Rams team is looking really good. And then the Niners are coming off a really bad offensive showcase. And their defense couldn't stop Travis Etienne either. That's not good. Big money, Jessica. That's my son. Oh, okay. How's it going? How's it going? Joe's son. Or, yeah, Joe's son. How you doing? He a Niner fan too, big money, I'm pretty sure, as well. You taught him well. Uh, yeah, the Niners. It's gonna be a fun game. The NFC West games are always fun, and they're both 3-1. I just think that Rams defense is so good, and they're gonna cause problems whether it's Brock Purdy or Mac Jones in the backfield for the Niners. And if Niners can't keep that pass rush secured, and Brock Purdy has to run up the pocket of Mac Jones, it's gonna be a long day for them. Thanks, man. We gotta go watch your family. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Oh yeah. I enjoyed the movie Big Money. I appreciate you for hopping by as always. Um. Yeah. I appreciate it. Have fun watching that movie. Uh, and Matthew Stafford in that offense has got it clicking. Puka has over 100 yards in every game this season, which is absolutely insane to say. Um, the Niners defensively, they have to limit Matthew Stafford and Puka. If they do that, they have a chance to win this game. And then our offense has got to click. Ricky Pearson's been a bright spot. Christian McCaffrey's still there. They got the weapons to do it. It's gonna be a fun game, but I got the Rams here at home. I think I'm gonna take them 23-17. The Rams. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. Um, that ends that portion of the podcast. So if you guys have any stats or anything you want me to talk about, definitely feel free to ask any questions. It should be a fun one Thursday. Fred Warren is still playing an amazing level. They did have a little bit of a controversy, I guess, against the Jaguars. Saleh in his press conference said their Jaguars were sign stealing, and then he kind of retracted. Then Liam Coleman called him out, and then they were about to fight. And then, which Robert Saleh would have knocked the hell out of Liam Cohen. Liam Cohen is not built to fight. Um, but also, he did retract his statement. Robert Saleh did. So, I mean, I guess you have to be adults at the end of the day. Both ways as well. I think it was a little childish from Liam Cohen, even though Saleh started. I think it was childish for Liam Cohen to react. So can't have that as adults. And then a lot of Jaguars fans are acting childish too. So I don't know. It's all started for no reason. I don't think they're not even division rivals. So I don't know. But yeah, if you guys got any questions, do let me know. But that is it for this. Ooh, I'm looking at it. They have next gen stats over here, so I'm looking at this. Looks pretty cool. Caleb. Caleb. Okay, they're right there. 1,000. So I'm just looking at the lead stealers. So Dak Prescott's leading the league in passing yards with a 1,119. Yeah, looking pretty good. And Caleb and Penix are at 927 and 918, so they're right neck and neck. Has anyone not thrown an interception this year? Jalen Hurts has not thrown an interception this year. That's the only guy. Well, because they can't pass the ball. So, yeah. Who has the most interceptions? 7 for Geno. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Geno Smith already has 7 interceptions. That's actually insane. Oh, Jaden Daniels doesn't have a pick either. Neither does Justin Fields, but they've been out too, so it's advantage. Lamar Jackson has 10 touchdown passes and 1 interception, which is absolutely insane. Josh Allen has 7 touchdown passes and 1 interception as well. It's crazy. Rushing wise, let's see the rushing leaders. Bijan's 5, of course, with 314. Jonathan Taylor is leading the league with 414. Then James Cook, then ETN, and J.K. Dobbins as well. He's interesting. 3, 6, 12. He's on pace. Receiving leaders is Puka with 500, of course. JSN with 400. Dang, Puka's 100 yards ahead of anybody right now. Sheesh. And he has double the receptions as Quentin Johnston with 42 receptions for Puka. Jeez, dude. Puka's getting working, which is nice. Jeez. Bijan has 1 more per receiving yard than Drake London, which is absolutely insane as a running back. Christian McCaffrey has 300 yards receiving as well. It's crazy. Defense. Defensive playtime percentage wise, Malachi Starks has 280 snaps. Dang. And Kyle Hamilton. Sheesh. Jeez, dude. Wow. defensive stops. Let's look at that. Damn. Bobby Wagner has 24 defensive stops. Damn. That's crazy. Pressure rate. Oh, by team. Team defense. There we go. Falcons are second in yards in total defense, which is nice to see. Our defense playing crazy good. We'll see when they play the Bills, though. That's gonna be a real test right there. Josh Allen's gonna be a real test. Total EPA. The Jags and the Vikings are up there. Pressure rate for team. Yeah, we're pretty bad. Pressure rate, it's not very good. QB pressure rate we're 25, of course. That makes sense. 38.7%. Saints are actually number one. Damn. Oh wait, no, this is going by 22. Oh, it's going by worst to best. Okay. Oh damn, That means we're eighth best team in quarterback pressure rate, or pressuring the quarterback almost 38.7% of the time, which is top 8 in the NFL, which is actually awesome. Damn, that's really good. How's there? Click. Holy. We're a number one team. Falcons are our number one team in blitz rate. We're blitz 43% of the time. That's funny. We're also top 8 in pressure rate now. That's not, I'm not going to complain about it. Rushing yards before contact allowed. What is this? Rushing yards before contact. Damn. Oh, we're top 7 in that too. Yeah, that's awesome. Browns are number 1. They are average. They're at negative, literally. That's so crazy. Wow. But yeah. Thank you guys again for watching the podcast. I was just looking at the stats there, but if you guys do have any last minute questions you want me to answer, or have any thoughts about your team, want me to talk about them, let me know. I try to give every team their fair shot, I'd say. So yeah, appreciate you guys for watching again. And I will see you guys Saturday. Saturday's stream will probably be around earlier, like at 1 or 2 p.m. Eastern time. On Saturday, we'll be having a special guest on Saturday. He's a big Vikings fan, so we'll talk about the Vikings and preview Week 5 of the NFL on Saturday. So that'll be fun. But stream on Saturday will be early. It will be like 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern, so look out for that. But yeah, thank you again, Tim and Big Money and everybody who stopped by the stream, and AJ. And I'll see you guys on Saturday. Peace. Outro.
Thank you for watching the PI Podcast. Make sure you subscribe and tune in next time so you don't miss the latest news in the NFL world. You can also follow us on TikTok at PI Podcast and on Twitter at PI Podcasters. Until next time.